Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to my channel. And for today's video I want to talk about the FAANG companies. Yes, I didn't mention the N because I'm not gonna talk about Netflix only. I will go through the balances of Facebook, Apple, Amazon, and Google. We're going to go a little bit through their numbers and see what analysts thought about these companies, and at the end I'm gonna give you my conclusion and what I think about investing in all these four companies. But before we get into that content, if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel because you're gonna help me a lot by doing that. And also, if you have comments, leave those comments in this comment section below. So basically all these companies beat expectations that analysts made for third quarter of this year. So for Facebook, what can we say for Facebook? If we go and see the balance of the company for the third quarter of this year, basically we see that the revenue has increased, which is normal, but also I have to mention that by the, let's say, June or July, I don't remember exactly when that happened, but there was like a little boycott on the company because, like, you know that some companies actually stop advertising with Facebook because they wanted, or they were trying to force Google, Facebook in this case, to stop all these posts about hate and stuff like that, and resistance also. So despite this boycott, some big companies actually started this boycott on Facebook. Despite this situation, actually, like I said, Facebook beat analyst expectations. We can see that revenue increased compared to that of 2019 by $4 billion. And if we compare these numbers by the numbers in last year for the, let's say, last 9 months of the year, so basically we see an increment of $7 billion. So we're talking about big numbers here. Facebook has been capable of increasing this revenue despite the boycott, and also despite the situation that we all know. Although we have to say that this situation actually has helped companies like Facebook, because more companies, because a lot of people was stuck at home, basically they seized the opportunity to use these companies and advertise their services even more. So that's why they spent a lot of money on these type of companies. That's why they see their revenue incremented. So if we only see the net income this time, which is something very important for me, even more important than the revenue itself, basically we see that compared to that of last year, Facebook actually had approximately, we can say, $6 billion more of net income, which actually is something very, very good for the company. If we take only the last 3 months ended in September 30th, but basically we see like a little increment of 1 billion, let's say. But anyways, still is a good number for the company. We all know Facebook. I don't need to give like a huge explanation of what Facebook does and stuff like that. But basically, this is the most important thing to talk about Facebook. So let's talk about Apple right now. So Apple is my favorite company all time, and basically they also beat expectations from analysts despite the late launch of iPhone 12. But we know that this happened because of the situation that we know, and that a lot of their factories in China also, they locked down and stuff like that. So they delayed the production of the telephone, and basically that's why for this third quarter the company actually didn't report too many iPhone sales, at least for iPhone 12. But I'm pretty sure that since all these numbers are coming in for the last quarter of this year, basically they will overcome those expectations even more, and I hope that we are going to see a good boost in the price of the stock of the company by the end of the year, or well, basically at the beginning of the year, because Q4 results are coming in until the next year. But the thing is that if we see right now the third quarter results, basically again in products we well, basically they didn't surpass last year's, but it still is a good number. We're talking about only $6 million that they were down compared to last year. But it is very important to mention here that services actually did pretty good. We see an increment of $2 billion compared to 2019. If we take the 12 month ended in September 26 for 2020, and compared to that of 2019, basically there we see an increment of approximately $7 billion in terms of services, which for me actually is something to pay close attention to, because services is something very important on the company. So for me, services is like the bond the company is creating to keep these customers in Apple products, using Apple products. So if you buy a telephone, then if you get those services, when the time comes to renew your Apple or your telephone, then basically you're going to stick with Apple again because you don't want to lose their services. So it is like the bond the company is creating to stick to the client for a long time. So basically it's something very important. But if we take a look to the segments of the company, we are seeing here, like I said, because the iPhone 12 was delayed due to the situation that we know, that basically it is normal to expect low or less sales than 2019, so not too much to talk about right there. But if we take a look at the Mac computers, basically they sold like $2 billion more, in $2 billion more, iPad as well, and wearables, home and accessories. Again, they beat the last year numbers, and also services. Like I said, services, the bond the company is creating is basically incrementing, is going up, which is something very important to talk about this company. So Amazon, the big company. So Amazon, again, they beat expectations from analysts. This is something that actually I was expecting from the company, not big surprise here. So if we take a look at the results of Q3 for Amazon, basically we are seeing that they also are, the product sales also are going up. It's taking advantage of Amazon Prime and stuff like that. So that's why sales for this year actually went up incredible. And we're talking about like approximately $12-13 billion more compared with 2019. Services as well, incredibly, they went up $13 billion compared to 2019, and net income actually was almost triple the number compared to 2019. So again, a huge company, Amazon, like the king of the kings. And basically this company actually, for me, personally speaking, is going to continue going up. So it is a good company, especially if you invest for the long term. Then basically, it won't matter at what time you are planning to buy shares of the company, because you're going to have good results if you are investing for the long term. So let's talk about Google right now. So we can say that actually, because of the situation that we know, basically a lot of companies use Google to promote their services, right? We're talking Google and Gmail, we're talking free YouTube here as well. So basically, because of all of this situation, that's why they saw their income boost. Basically, also, like I said, all other companies, all the three previous companies, they beat expectations from analysts, but it was only Google that actually beat expectations by even more. So basically, it's the only company that has seen the price of the stock rally, basically because of the same situation. So what can we say about Google? Like I said, they beat expectations by a lot, and we can see here in the revenue of the company that compared to that of 2019, they made $6 billion more for the third quarter. And the net income of the company was actually up by $4 billion compared of that of 2019. So like I said, a lot of companies, they used Google services to promote their services, and that's why it was like kind of the only company that actually convinced investors, and that's why we have seen the stock of the company rally for the last day after Q3 results were released. So, in my opinion, all of these companies are, I don't have to say, all these companies are good companies. And for me, it doesn't matter if you invest in the company, in any of these companies right now, even if the price is high or not. If you invest for the long term, for sure you are going to make profits out of your investments. So, but if you want to wait a little bit until you see like a correction and a good entry point on the price of any of these stocks, then you can do it, because for sure there is going to be more volatility in the market. That is my opinion. And then at that moment you can take advantage of the situation and buy shares out of these companies, because like I said, for the long term it's going to be a good investment. So this is what I wanted to talk about in this video. Like I said, if you like the content, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. You are going to help me a lot to make and grow my channel. And also, if you have comments, leave that comment in the comment section below. And thank you for watching, and have a good one.